Mega Hawlucha is a brand new Mega Evolution introduced from Pokemon ZA, and probably a viral one too, because this thing got access to entrainment and can go for no guard entrainment, which means you can go for Oko moves that will never miss. And that's pretty much what Mega Hawlucha is known for, but there are some other things that Mega Hawlucha can do, and we're going to be trying out one that was built by a world champion and see how well it can perform. This is the 2022 world champion Eduardo Cunha's Mega Hawlucha team that pairs with Tinkaton. We're going to be breaking down the individual members, then going over how the team functions, and then finally going and playing with the team. Let's break it down. First Pokemon we have is the star of the show, Hawlucha, and we are running the Limber ability in case you switch into like a Thunder Wave or a Dire Claw. You don't use Unburden when using the Mega Evolution, so it's basically a pointless ability. Limber can actually have some applications here. And Mold Breaker, I really can't see other than like maybe Sturdy or Chowdon, and you can cross chop, I suppose. But I think Limber probably has more applications, especially if you switch into a random Dire Claw. So I think that's probably the best. Also, you'd be going for cross chop without the Mega, and I think that's really unlikely because you want to be able to hit. So when Hawlucha Mega Evolves, unfortunately, it does not get a speed boost. It gets an attack boost as well as some bulk, but otherwise it doesn't get speed, which would be really nice because it's a base 118 speed tier, which is a little bit awkward at times as it is still underspeeds the base 120s, so that's a little bit of a problem. And you want to go Jolly Nature to be able to outspeed like the Adamant Sneezers in the format, Whimsicott, and a few others. So yeah, that's a little bit concerning, and also like Hawlucha doesn't have the best damage output immediately, so we will be running Swords Dance on the Hawlucha in order to help boost up its attacks. What's nice is the No Guard does make you have access to the inaccurate moves that can fire out some pretty good damage, and here, Dual Wing Beat, a move that's nefarious for missing. You can actually go for Dual Wing Beat and you don't have to worry about missing, which is really nice, especially until a lot of the Focus Ashmons like the Venusaur, the Sneasler, and more. And then Cross Chop, of course, really strong fighting coverage that it does have access to. Inaccurate normally, but you know what? We can't miss with No Guard, so a huge benefit to Hawlucha that we'll be able to take advantage of. Next Pokemon we have is a pretty bulky Citrus Berry Rotom Wash, and it is pretty standard. We're going to be running Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, and Protect. We like the coverage moves. The chance to burn can really help to support the rest of the team, especially Hawlucha, which doesn't take the physical attacks as well. So having that Will-O-Wisp can be nice, so you can allow it to set up with Swords Dance safer. The EV spread on this Rotom Wash, we have 5 stat points in special attack, mainly because of the fact that it's the jump point to get an extra stat point in its special attack. If we invested 4, it'd be hitting 141. With 5, it's 143. Then max HP or near max HP because we're running 156 HP as a stat, and the main reason is because you want an even HP number because of the very situational but could still come into play Super Fang Mousehold, because they could go for Super Fang into your Rotom, and if you are an odd HP stat, you don't get to activate your Citrus Berry, but with an even HP stat point, you do activate the Citrus Berry and then heal back to the 75, which is actually kind of important in some cases. Then the rest is going to be a little bit of extra in the speed to be able to speed creep some other Rotoms and like Pokemon like Tyranitar potentially. And then the rest is going to be into the defense and special defense, because you still want to be able to tank attacks pretty well. You want to switch into like special water type moves, Basky Legion hits, and more. And you make sure you want to respect the adaptability, last respect from Basky Legion endgame. You want to make sure you can take it with the Intimidate from your Incineroar. So a pretty bulky Rotom Wash overall. Still has some good speed depth to take on the special attacks. And yeah, it's supposed to be sit there, do some good damage, Will-O-Wisp, nice ground immunity, a lot of stuff that I can support this team with. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Sinistcha, and Sinistcha, a really solid mon because of the fact that it has the access to the Hospitality ability, and Hospitality is such a good ability because it is able to help out and heal the ally upon Sinistcha switching in. So it's able to heal your ally 25%, which is really solid, and then just able to do some pretty good damage. It has good bulk as well. Redirection is solid, especially on a setup mon like Hawlucha. So you have access to Rage Powder. You're able to heal the Hawlucha and make it so it can stick around on the field so it can actually get the damage off. And Matcha Gotcha's really great into opposing Rotom Wash and the bulky water types like the Milotic. Trick Room is going to be a form of speed control on this team, which is pretty solid because you don't really have many forms of speed control on this team. So having a form of speed control in Trick Room is nice, and Protect to keep itself around. EV spread wise, it is going to be running a Bold Nature with only a little bit of defense. The only reason is because you want to take advantage of Sinistcha having its highest stat in its defense stat, so you want to be able to take those physical attacks pretty well, but you still want to have a lot of special defense in this format for things like the Frostlass as well as like some Mega Gengars that don't run that much special attack investment because they're like Perish Song, and multiple others. But it's also running the Ghost Resist Berry on the Sinistra to help out in those kind of cases as well against the Frostlass and the Gengar. But also the special defense is pretty nice for like stuff like Delphox and a few other special attackers, including especially opposing Rotoms and being able to absorb those attacks that way. And you have max HP, pretty simple, near max special defense, and then the rest is just going to go into the defense with that bold nature, really helping out, as well as Intimidate to take on the physical attacks. So next Pokemon we have is going to be the Soft Sand Garchomp, and Soft Sand is able to boost the power of its ground type moves, aka Earthquake, so it can do a bit more damage. I think you want Soft Sand because of the fact that powering up the ground type moves to be able to hit Pokemon that like Hawlucha can hit, like Aegislash, and sometimes like dual Wing Beat into Earthquake into opposing Eternal Floettes can be nice as well, so that is also an option that is pretty much appreciated. So we have pretty standards, max attack, max speed, so you are able to outspeed stuff like the Charizard Ys and the base 100s out there and still be able to dish out as much damage as possible. Garchomp's already having super solid natural bulk. It's able to do a lot of damage with its attacks and stick around on the field. And ground plus flying coverage is of course really nice when you're able to Earthquake next to your own partner and be immune to it, as well as like having a double up combination with Earthquake plus an attack from the Hawlucha. Tinkaton. And you might be wondering, why Tinkaton? Well, the idea behind Tinkaton is that there are some weaknesses that the team has that you want to make sure you cover for. If you notice on the team, it doesn't have a fairy switch in, which is really important. So Eternal Floette and Mega Gardevoir are problems. But also another factor is that also Mega Frostlass is kind of hard to switch into for most of this team. So we need a Pokemon that's able to switch into these Pokemon and also threaten, hopefully, a knockout. And that's where Tinkaton comes in, because it's one of the best steel types that's able to switch in against these Pokemon. And then you have the move Gigaton Hammer, super strong steel type. The only concern is, of course, Tinkaton doesn't have a great attack stat at all, and that's a big problem. But on the bright side, if they are paired with Incineroar with Intimidate, you are immune to Intimidate thanks to the Own Temple ability, which also prevents confusion, but mainly it's going to be for blocking the Intimidate attack drop. And that's kind of important because you kind of need the Gigaton Hammer to KO those fairy types, because really important for the team, threaten the Frostlass, being able to switch in, not weak to Shadow Ball like Aegislash would be. It is very helpful here. And then you also have some pretty good support moves with Fake Out, which is, of course, we all know from Incineroar. We also know about Helping Hand, which is able to boost the power, which can be nice for Hawlucha to get a knockout. And then Encore, really nice move, especially against passive play. Lock your opponent into the move that they last used can be really nice for certain situations. EV spread wise, we have a really solid amount of HP, going to be 191 as a stat. And then we also have a good amount of attack because you kind of need the power of Gigaton Hammer to, again, KO those fairies. This thing does not have a good physical attack stat at all. Then the rest, it already has a really high special defense, and then you want to have some speed investment. So you don't really need to invest too much into special defense. You want to invest some into speed so you are able to outspeed some of the Mega Gardevoirs out there, especially the ones that are like Trick Room oriented. And even then, you still want to have speed to be able to outspeed those and more. So the rest is going to go into physical defense just to take the physical hits better, like the Garchomp Earthquake, Stomping Tantrum, as well as like some other attacks for the double ups. But across the board, this is going to be the Tinkaton is running the Aqua Berry to help out against the fire type coverage against opposing Instant as well. So this is going to be a support mon to help set up the Hawlucha, but more importantly, going to be your answers to Mega Frostlass and Mega Floette. And then final Pokemon on this team is going to be an Incineroar. Help switching against Charizard Y. The Intimidate, of course, to lower the attack. Great support options with Fake Out and Parting Shot, being able to pivot and lower the attack stats of the target. Yeah, it's just a really solid mon, especially on a setup team. And then we have a lot of physical defense, as you can see. This Incineroar has a lot of physical defense, and that's mainly because that this Incineroar is designed to live jolly close combat from Sneasler. And in Adamant, it's a roll, but you still want to have some special defense because you want to be able to switch into like Hyper Voice from Gardevoir. You want to switch into Heat Wave from Charizard Y. You want to switch into some Fairy moves from Eternal Floette. So you don't want to be fully invested into physical defense. So you want to still have some special defense. And the benchmark here is just going to be Jolly Sneasler. And because if they're Adamant, you can just outspeed with Hawlucha and then dual Wing Beat it. So it's not like terrible in that case. Otherwise, you do have a little bit of speed to be able to speed creep opposing Incineroar, but for the most part, this is just a bulky Incineroar. It just tanks attacks Flare Blitz, Draw Chop to of course prevent hyper voices, as well as opposing partner shots, Flare Blitz for the strong fire type coverage. Not much to say. It is a classic Incineroar. It is always going to be a good mon on any kind of team. So how to use the team? Well, a lot of the team is generally trying to set up with Hawlucha. Of course, getting the Swords Dance up is really nice. You can lead Hawlucha plus either Tinkaton or Incineroar. Of course, go for the Fake Out plus Swords Dance combination immediately, and then try to play a game where you're protecting the Hawlucha while ensuring it can get a knockout and be the best position possible. Then there are some other game plans that you can go for, which are going to be probably slower modes, where you're going to go, for instance, maybe you try to burn your opponent immediately. Pokemon like Incineroar plus Rotom can lead here. Go for like Parting Shot plus Will-O-Wisp, slow down your opponent's damage output, then bring in the Hawlucha afterward to be safely able to set up with Sword Stance. That's also another potential option. You can go on the offense as well with this team. You do have access to like Garchomp next to Rotom Wash, which is pretty good, or Garchomp next to Hawlucha because you have the ground immune Pokemon. You can go for Earthquake plus a double up with Hawlucha or the Rotom Wash, which is a pretty solid position as well. There are some games where you can decide to go with a chicken route with Sinistcha, where you could lead like Sinistcha plus Instant, although probably a bit less likely here, as Sinistcha will probably want to be in the back to be able to go for the Hospitality and heal up your Hawlucha or any Pokemon that are weakened in case of longer games where you're positionally playing. Then you also have Tinkaton and Incineroar that could always just keep pivoting around for double Fake Out support next to Hawlucha, so it can set up a Swords Dance and then either get a KO or two. That is the main idea of the team and a few different lead options that you do have access to. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to try it out with the replica code, it is on your screen. Otherwise, let's get started and play some games and see how well Mega Hawlucha can do. All right, we have Aerodactyl, Venusaur, Whimsicott, Charizard, Garchomp, and Sneasler. It's kind of an interesting team because there's 4 potential Mega Evolutions. Charizard will always be a Mega, but the multiple focus sashes that this team usually wants to handle. I assume Sneaser's Whiter, but Whimsicott, Venusaur, and Aerodactyl are all Pokemon that generally like focus sash. So not seeing focus sash on any of these mons is very interesting here. All right, what do I want to go? Dual Wing Beat's really nice though, because I can play around any of the flying types in general. Aerodactyl a little bit weird. I think lead-wise, it's probably Hawlucha plus the Instant. I think it's a generally pretty good lead here. Yeah, I like Hawlucha plus Instant a lot. The question is, am I bringing Sinistcha in this game? Because Sinistcha's not bad, but it's not like amazing either. I like Garchomp a lot though. Garchomp's pretty good. Rotom is really solid too, because it can switch into things, but Sinistcha might be nice for just a Hospitality on the Hawlucha. But I think Rotom, just having multiple fire switch-ins is just nice to always make sure that I can play around a Zard. So I think this is probably the best to go here. It might have actually been the Sinistcha though over Rotom, but I'm not 100% confident. We'll figure it out here though. What are they leading from my opponent? Going to be Sneasler and Aerodactyl. So I'd say this is a pretty good lead for me because I do get Hawlucha plus Incineroar on the lead, and this is pretty okay. Yeah, I get Intimidate off. This should be White Herb. Yep, it's White Herb. It could be Mega Aerodactyl, so I do have to watch out for that, I suppose. I think my best play... Rotom's the most expendable here. It's mainly for the Aerodactyl. So I think I go for Detect turn 1. There's nothing that can pair me on their team. Well, I guess Dire Claw, but I think my best play is just to Mega Evolve Detect so I have the bulk and then just go out into Rotom. Yeah. Hawlucha will be one of the Mega Evolutions. You can go for the Mega Evolution right away because you want the bulk immediately. And Limber, again, the only thing that can pair me is Dire Claw, which I hope I don't regret, but I'd rather just Mega Evolve immediately. I'm curious if this is Mega Aerodactyl. Could be Mega Aerodactyl. So something I'm going to have to keep in mind as well. But I like having the Intimidate as a switch again. So bring out the Rotom, even if they close combat. It is Mega Aerodactyl, so good to know. Because I do have to be worried about Dual Wing Beat. So let's see if this is a Fake Out or if this is a close combat immediately. It could be close combat plus Dual Wing Beat. Alright, we do Mega Evolve. Which means I could have probably faked out as well and Dual Wing Beat, but we would trade Instant for Sneasler, and I don't know how I feel about that. Probably not great. We will detect our Hawlucha to make sure that we're sticking around, and then we're going to see Fake Out. Okay, perfect. Into Hawlucha, and then this is Rock Slide or Dual Wing Beat? Rock Slide. Okay, Rotom takes a bit of chip damage. That's perfectly acceptable. Okay, awesome. Now I could either go Instant or I could go Instant for either of these slots. I could go for Thunderbolt immediately. I kind of like the idea of just getting a dual Wing Beat off into Sneasler and just going back into Instant for an Intimidate into the Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl might be scared of playing around the Rotom, so I think I could probably live the -2 dual Wing Beat from the Tough Claws Aerodactyl as well, especially because Mega Hawlucha actually has some decent bulk. So gonna go out into Incineroar, get another round of Intimidate off. And let's see what they decide to go for. Gonna be close combat. Oh, they read the instant switch on the Hawlucha. Okay, that works. Perfect. Did they dual Wing Beat to cover as well? Me staying in? They did, okay. I do survive, yeah. Yeah. It's not amazing though, but I don't think that's terrible. Because there's no Charizard. We can't miss dual Wing Beat, which is nice, so Sneasler goes down. I could have cross-chopped here, but I think getting rid of Sneasler and any RNG elements is good for me. Because unless the Aerodactyl has Ice Fang, Garchomp should be a good counter as well. Let's see who they bring out. But no Charizard in this game. Well, never mind. There is a Charizard. Okay, there is a Charizard in this game. Which we can comfortably go out into Rotom here. Or we could go Garchomp. Both are pretty effective. What do I want to go? They're probably just going to click Rock Slide. I think keeping Rotom healthy, so I always have a healthy ground switch. And then we're going to fake out the Charizard. Yes. Because I'm not worried about the output damage of the Aerodactyl. They could also switch out Aerodactyl, which they do. Okay. Into what? Garchomp. Okay, so it's Garchomp here, which is fine. I think this works out well for me, I'd say. Because I get to bring out my own Garchomp that is threatening some damage. We do get a fake out off into the Charizard. Just a bit of extra chip. I would have liked Parting Shot out into the Aerodactyl, and I did debate it, but I think this still works out pretty well for me. I think I just protect my Garchomp here and probably go out into Rotom. Rotom's pretty safe here. On Earthquake, Heat Wave, that combo can be good. The Charizard could have Tailwind, I suppose, which is fine. Interesting to see both Charizard and Aerodactyl brought. But yeah, no Venusaur makes sense. No Whimsicott is surprising, but Rotom comes in and protect the Garchomp. And then we could go for like Intimidate swap. We could burn the Garchomp. We have a few different plays. Earthquake gonna come out here. And what did they go for? They go for Dragon Pulse. Okay. I was wondering if there was like some tech on the Charizard that had it and it's Dragon Pulse. Yeah, it's not Scarf Charizard though. I should live the Dragon Claw, so I think I just go for a Will-O-Wisp attempt I go for a Will-O-Wisp, I think, and a Rock Slide. They go for Rock Slide themselves, okay. Covering the instant swap, that's why I went for Rock Slide as well. Nice, nice. If we get the Will-O-Wisp off in the Garchomp, that's huge. That's like game winning. Okay, Charizard goes down, which is perfect because they're now down to the last two, which means instant gets to Intimidate for free here. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe we hit that Will-O-Wisp. We hit the Willow. In what world do we hit the Willow? Nice, we get the burn on the Garchomp, huge. And now it's looking really good against the Aerodactyl back. And the battle's gonna be forfeited because I'm guessing it's not Ice Fang, so good shot, good shot. All right, we have Scovillain with the Sneasler, Basculegion, Pelipper, Archaludon, and Eternal Floette. So we got two potential Mega Evolutions with the Floette and the Scovillain. And Rain is not easy for our team because we have like one answer, which is the Hawlucha. I think we're going to have a tough time against our Archaludon plus Scovillain because Electroshot is just going to be really hard to switch into. All right, what am I going here? I think I definitely bring the Hawlucha. Am I bringing Instant? Instant's not even that great. I mean, Fake Out's nice, but I don't think I need the Fake Out. I think it's Hawlucha plus Tinkaton, so I can threaten the Floette at the very least, and then having the back, I don't like Garchomp. I think it's Sinistra and Rotom here. Yeah. My only problem is I do not have the best answers to deal with the... Although, here's the thing. I don't know if they're bringing the Eternal Floette or if they're bringing the Scovillain, because both are actually pretty decent into me, I feel. So I'm kind of curious. I would lean personally probably towards Scovillain, but they could decide, hey, I want to go Eternal Floa because it blows up the team more and it does more damage to Rotom, which makes sense to me. Curious what they decide to go here. All right, what are you leading? Scovillain Sneasler. Okay, this is probably ideal lead. This is probably my ideal lead. Curious if they would fake out or not immediately. I have a lot of things I can do here. I can go for Detect, which is solid here. I could fake out, but I would get burned if I target the Scovillain and attack it. There's like a lot of what if scenarios here. I think my best play is probably just to Detect with the Hawlucha and probably go out into Rotom. There's just not an easy what if scenario, but I think this is my best play. Rotom in. Oh, I should have Mega Evolved with my... I should have Mega Evolved with Hawlucha so I got the bulk, right? I keep forgetting. But they do Mega Evolve the Scovillain, so there's no Float most likely in this game. Rain should be in the back, and I'm assuming it's Archalit. It could be Basket Legion Pelipper, or it could be Arch. Both are pretty scary, though. They fake out. Oh, I almost Encored, but they might be going for Fire Move into Tinkaton. Yeah, so this is not awful, I suppose. It's not great, but it's not awful. Alright, I don't know if they would Flamethrower here. I think my best play is to probably get Tinkaton back in, because I don't need Tinkaton nearly as much if there's no Eternal Float I have to worry about, and I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump into the Scovillain. I think Rotom should be out of close combat range. I want to ideally get the Hydro Pump. If they have Giga Drain, though, this is bad, but... Are you going to click it? I could KO the Sneasler. I could expect Rage Powder from the Scovillain, but we'll see. I could be wrong on this. Maybe I should have just went for like a dual Wing Beat Willow. The problem is I get burned on the first hit and then I don't think I KO the Scovillain afterward. So that's kind of one of the downsides of running dual Wing Beat. Scovillain's actually kind of annoying. Oh, they retreat Scovillain into what? Archaladon? Oh, they tried to get a stamina boost. Okay, that makes sense. They do close combat my Rotom. I do survive. I don't really need Rotom too much in this game. Hydro Pump is nice damage into Arch. Okay. So it should be Pelipper back. And no Basque to play around means Rotom is less useful. Okay, this is... It's still not great, but it's still not terrible. Because I can threaten a... Fake out T-Bolt into the Sneasler, or I could go for... There's a lot I could go for, actually. Huh. They could Electroshock, switch to Pelipper. They could take the KO on Rotom with Dragon Pulse if they have it. They could also take the knockout with another attack. Wait, did they have... Okay, wait, it's not White Herb, so it's Sash Sneasler. Okay, good to know. I think we just go for Fake Out then, and we're going to go for T-Bolt. Because it covers a lot of plays other than maybe Scovillain switch. Oh, did they go Scovillain or Pelipper? I think Pelipper makes sense. Oh, it's Scovillain. I don't really care about the burn, though, on my Tinkaton, so I guess that's not too bad. But it's not great. They're also faster and go for Dragon Pulse. Okay. Yeah, this Scovillain's a problem. This Scovillain's a problem. I think we go Hawlucha here. And the play is to Encore the Archaladon. And go for a Mega Evolution Sword Stance so I can threaten the KO. The reason I do this is because they have a few plays. They could Rage Powder here with the Scovillain, which makes sense. They could switch out to Pelipper and try to Electroshock. And if they do that, I do get the Sword Stance up. Yeah, perfect. This works out. Yep. Because that means they Dragon Pulse. And because they Dragon Pulse, that means I can Encore our Archaladon and lock into Dragon Pulse, which means it's not doing any damage to my Hawlucha. Also, I think the Encore makes it random target, which means if it's in the Tink... Well, it doesn't matter if it's Tinkaton, because I think I'm switching out the next turn. I gotta hope the Pelipper isn't Scarf at this point in order to win this game. So we encore the Archaludon. Nice. I mean, I would have got back Hospitality, but that also works. Beautiful. Now I can go for Helping Hand and Dual Wing Beat the Pelipper. And I'll KO anything that comes in. I think they're going to go back to Scovillain, but that's... The thing is, going back to Scovillain is kind of risky for them. Because if I cross-chop the Archaludon, they would lose. I would like to give it a Pelipper because that's like the biggest Hurricane switch. And okay, they give me the Pelipper, which is really nice here. Okay, that's beautiful. So I do get the Dual Wing Beat into the Pelipper, and it will take the knockout even if it's Citrus Berry. Yeah, perfect. That's why Helping Hand was also really good here. So goodbye, Pelipper. Nice. Huge. And they go for Dragon Pulse. Okay. Wait, that did way more than I expected. Okay, I was about to say that did way more than I expected. That crit's really bad. Oh, that crit's really bad. I think I'll still be fine, though. Because I can go Sinisha. And I'm really glad I brought Sinisha as the last mon. Because I can Rage Powder. Okay. Yeah. I go out into Sinisha and heal my Hawlucha. And I detect here. Just don't be faint Sneasler for some reason. And then I can threaten to cross chop into Arch. Or I could dual wing beat the Sneasler. Both work. I probably want to cross chop the Arch, even at the cost of a burn. Because that means they wouldn't have the defense boost. I gotta hope that +2 cross chop knocks out the Arch. I don't know if it would. I don't know if it would. Dude, +1 Arch? Arch is bulky, man. Oh, they faked out the Tinkaton. Interesting. And they Dragon Pulse. If I cross chop there, did I win? I don't know. I mean, my best play is always just to Rage Powder and go for a cross chop. We're stalling out rain turns if they decide to play passive here, so it works out fine if they do. They do retreat the Arch into Scovillain, which I think is fine for me. I think this is all right. Yeah, this should be fine for me because I get the Rage Powder and I get the KO into the Scovillain. Oh, it's U-turn. U-turn Sneasler. So it's fake out U-turn doesn't have protect. It's Dire Claw. Okay, interesting. I think I win. Because cross chop should KO the Scovillain. Yeah, gone. I do get burned, but I think I'll have enough turns to win the game. I gotta be a little bit cautious, but I think I have enough turns to win the game. Yeah, so I double protect this turn on the fake out. Yeah, I double protect this turn on the fake out. Then I'm going to sequence a Rage Powder dual Wing Beat KO to Sneasler. Then we get Tinkaton in because Sinisha will probably be going down to an attack. Then I can go for Tinkaton in and fake out Swords Dance. Oh, this is good. And then Helping Hand Cross Chop should KO the Arch. So we will protect with Sinisha as they fake out, yep, into the Hawlucha. And this is Electro Shot, yep, which is fine. We don't care about the boost. We also know it's not Stalwart. So unless their Sneasler is U-turn fake out with no Dire Claw or no close combat, we should be completely fine here. Rain stops. We can't miss our attacks thanks to Hawlucha having no guard. We Rage Powder the Dire Claw plus the Archaludon attack, and we dual Wing Beat the Sneasler. Crit Dire Claw does not knock out the Sinistra's range either, so we should be fine. And if we live with Sinistra, as long as we don't get parried or slept immediately, we should be in a game-winning spot anyway. So we Rage Powder. They Dire Claw. They're also max speed, but that's not surprising because it's probably Sash. Nice. Dual Wing Beat KOs the Sneasler, and I'm pretty sure we have this. I think. It could come down to some burn. How much does the burn do? We've been ticking down, but I think we're fine. Flash Cannon. KOs the Sinistra. Do I have enough turns? I should. If I don't have enough turns, I go for the help it. Yeah, I have enough turns. Okay, yeah. I was like, do I have enough turns if they don't protect here, then they protect? I think I have enough. I think they need a triple, if I'm not mistaken. I'm taking 9 from each burn. Yeah, so I'll live 4 turns now. So I go for Fake Out into Swords Dance again. Okay. They can't protect because of the Encore, so that's fine. And Swords Dance again. We know it's stamina, so it can't be sturdy, so sturdy shouldn't be a factor here. Yeah, we take 9, so they need 4 protects, actually. Yeah, they need 4 protects. Just to double check. It is stamina. Yep, I am right. So I go for Helping Hand, Cross Chop. This is +4 Hawlucha. We're burned and they have a +1 defense, but I assume Helping Hand would allow me to KO the Arch. I'd be very shocked if it lived. And if they protect, I get Encore pressure the next turn. But we'll see. They might go for the quad protect, but we'll see. Nice. Cross chop. Yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye, Archaludon. Goodbye. Oh, man. This match was dangerous, but they gave me an opportunity to set up Hawlucha, which I was very happy about. And even with the burn, they had to sacrifice their boosted Archaludon, which meant that I could play around in the endgame once I isolated it, and it was perfect. The game plan was super ideal, so it was able to win there. Whew. That was a little bit terrifying because that Scovillain, I knew I was getting burned eventually because I brought no pressure against Scovillain other than Hawlucha, and I needed to figure out a way around it. But luckily, even though the beginning was a bit rough, we were able to have a really good spot once we got Hawlucha set up. All right, we have Eternal Floette, Basculegion, King Gambit, Aegislash, Talonflame, and Garchomp. Talonflame and Aegislash are definitely annoying for the Hawlucha. Everything else is reasonable to beat. Alright. I don't think I'm... Do I have to bring Tinkaton? Just for the Floette, right? Yeah, I need to. I don't beat Floette otherwise. That's rough. But the Tinkaton's all... But the Talonflame's rough as well. This is not going to be fun. I think I lead Hawlucha plus Tinkaton immediately. Which I think generally is okay. I'm very worried about the Basque. The Basque is going to be tough. The Basculegion is going to be so tough to deal with. I think I need Instant Rotom as defensive tools here. Sinisha's nice, but at the same time, it doesn't do enough. Healing is nice, but I think I need coverage. Because I need a ground switch in for the King Gambit. Rotom's also good into the Talonflame, so it's not that bad. Yeah. I think this is right. Maybe I should let Tinkaton Rotom instead of Hawlucha, but I am tempted to Mega Ball the Hawlucha, so I have the access to the bulk. Let's see. Floette Garchomp. Okay, this kind of works. Yeah, this works actually. Because I can Swords Dance with my Hawlucha and fake out the Floette. And if they stay in with Garchomp, that's fine because I take the knockout, or I can take the knockout to Floette with +2 dueling beat the next turn. And if they swap hard into Talon, I can go for switch to instant, Gigaton Hammer to Floette. So I think this is pretty reasonable here. The Floette is a pain, but as long as I either get boosted Hawlucha or I get Tinkaton in a spot to threaten the Floette, we're fine. They can't Earthquake either. Unless, I guess they can protect Earthquake. I get to see if it's Scarf Garchomp now because the Hawlucha is faster than Garchomp. My only question is, are you... I feel like Talonflame should be back. Yeah, they switch out to Garchomp. This makes sense. Talon? Oh, Basculegion. What? That is not what I expected as the mod coming in, but I'll take it. I also need to know if it's Scarf because that's also going to be a factor. Okay, they Mega Ball Floette. But I guess it could be Protect because they might want the bulk. Let's see. Hawlucha probably goes down to Wave Crash unless I switch Instant in. So I have to switch an Instant the next turn. Okay, fake out into Floette. Then I'm going to Swords Dance. I want to scout for the Float Protect. So I think my best play is just to detect with my Hawlucha, and I want to go for a Giga 10 Hammer into the Float slot. I just don't know if it's Scarf on the Basque. I need to find out if it's Scarf on the Basque. That's like the most important information. So unless they double Tinkaton, I should survive the turn with Tinkaton. Yeah, they go for Protect. Dude, I think my Tinkaton is faster than Float because I could Encore. They do go for the Wave Crash. Okay, that's what I expected. I think my best play here is to go Incin and dual Wing Beat the Float slot. Because I would KO the Float and I would have the Intimidate against the Basque Legion, which I think is worth. I wonder what their last mon is. Is it Talonflame? I feel like if it's Talonflame, they should have brought it out. So it might be one of the Steel types in the back. A double out into a Steel type deck should be awful if the Float switches out. Why did I say that? It could be Garchomp or Talon though. Okay, Aegislash. That's not terrible, but it's not great. Incin. They will take the Rico on the Basque to be put in Throat Chop range. It is Scarf on the Basque and goes for the Hawlucha. Yeah, if I dual Wing Beat the Basque, I'm in such great shape. But this is fine. No, this is fine. Yeah, I can go. My next play, Incin does live at -1 Wave Crash. I think my play is just to detect and go for a Throat Chop. Even if they switch out a Garchomp, the Aegislash is vulnerable the next turn. So I think this is pretty reasonable. I just gotta make sure that Rotom's healthy so I beat the Garchomp, which is why I'm not switching Incin into Rotom. Also, that would play super defensively. I should be fine with the Incin. Oh, wait, I guess I'm not Chople Incin. Chople would have been nice here. But we know it can't be Scarf Basque and Scarf Garchomp, so we know it's not Scarf on the Garchomp, which is good. Even if they switch in Garchomp, that's fine. And if they stay in, I get Throat Chop off, which is nice. So this is probably into the Incin, which is fine. Yeah, I should live. Yep. And I get the Throat Chop off, ideally. And because they took more recoil, they go down to it. Nice. Who's faster, Incin or Aegislash? Their Aegislash is faster. Don't tell me this is close combat. Oh, Poltergeist double up? Does that KO? Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I was about to say, this is an Incin. This is an Incin. And it's intimidated. Throat Chop, goodbye. Basque? Good. We should be fine. This is Garchomp coming in or Float? Garchomp. Okay. I think my play is to cross chop the Garchomp and go for a Throat Chop into the Aegislash. I could dual Wing Beat the Aegislash if I'm crazy. If I'm crazy with it. But I think my best play is to Throat Chop the Aegislash. What if they protect Garchomp here? I could see protect Garchomp. But you know what? Give me the cross chop, Throat Chop. Okay, nice. They didn't protect, so I should get a KO, double KO. Nice. And then it's Float versus Tinkaton Rotom and Incin probably back. So I should be good here. They go for Poltergeist. Perfect. Like, there was the idea of protect, but I felt protect plus attack from the Aegislash since faster my Incin was a bit obvious. So I was willing to risk it there because I think my opponent had to play aggressive because they were down behind. So I get the Throat Chop into Aegislash. Aegislash goes down. Perfect. I think the big question is how fast is their Float? Because I have a fast Tinkaton. Oh, wait, I'm not that fast. Wait, why did I think I was like crazy fast? Oh, no. Actually, no, this is still fine. I can fake out the Float. I can fake out the Float, switch to Rotom, which is always my play. Or I can Gigaton Hammer immediately. Which actually, Gigaton Hammer immediately is not bad either. You know what? I'm going to Gigaton Hammer immediately and go Rotom. Because the fake out might be a bit obvious, so they might just protect. And if they don't protect, they lose. If they protect here, I can Encore and sack with Rotom. Yeah, that's the play. Yeah, they didn't protect, had a feeling, because the fake out was a bit obvious. I gotta fake out a parting shot out though, but this works out because Gigaton Hammer will knock out the Tinkaton, or the Floette with Tinkaton, so Tinkaton gets the KO onto Floette, and that is a good game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, beautiful. Was a very nice setup, I think, for my Hawlucha. My Hawlucha was in a great spot to set up the Sword Stance, and we were able to get some pretty good, well, getting the knockout was huge. Getting that knockout into Garchomp was big, because it was kind of a call there, whether I dual wing beat the Aegis Slash or I get the cross chop into Garchomp. I felt like it was likely that they would attack with both, but if they did protect and make like a protect play, it could have been bad. But I just wanted to be like, please just attack with your Garchomp. Because if it was Garchomp attacked, Rotom plus Tinkaton plus Incin might have been enough, but it's still a little bit scary, I think. All right, we have another one. We have the Eternal Floette, King Gambit, Sneasler, Aerodactyl, Garchomp, and Basculegion. 3 potential megas. Eternal Floette is always going to be mega. Okay. Do I bring Rotom in this matchup? If I get Burns, it's nice. If I don't get Burns, it's scary. I also need Tinkaton for the Eternal Floette, right? The thing is, I want to go Hawlucha, Incin, Sinistra, plus Rotom, but this is extremely difficult. Because I don't even like Tinkaton outside of the Floette. It's like really bad into my opponent's team other than, I guess maybe Aerodactyl too. I think I'm just going to do Hawlucha plus Incin. And I think I'll go with the Sinistra Rotom wash route because they're just more consistent. I'm going to struggle against the Floette more, but I think I can play around it. Let's see. Because if I lead... Well, they're not going to lead Aerodactyl, I think, with Floette. I just don't think that's likely here. Let's see. Floette Sneasler. Okay. That's scary. I wish I let Tinkaton now. I wish I let Tinkaton now. Okay. Also... Huh. Something to note. It's not White Herb on the Sneasler, so that usually indicates Sash, which means it's probably Mega Aerodactyl. Interesting. Mega Evolve Detect is probably the best play, and I think it's always to go for a Flare Blitz into the Floette. If we want to trade Fake Outs, but they might Fake Out my Incin. But if they do that, I think I have a play. I can go Sinistra afterward, heal the Incin, and then Flare Blitz the Floette. It's like, this is not a great spot. I'm just going to say straight up, it's not a great spot. It's playable, but this is not a great spot. But it depends on what they do. If they Fake Out the Hawlucha plus Dazzling Gleam, I'm in a good spot. But if they Fake Out the Incin and Dazzling Gleam, it's awkward. Unless Dual Wing Beat KOs the Floette, but I highly doubt it KOs Floette. Okay, we will detect. Let's see. Fear the Hawlucha. Ah, yeah. Dazzling Gleam. Maybe I shouldn't have led Incin. Maybe I should have kept Incin back. Is there a chance to win here? I really don't see it. I think I just lose. I think I just like have to bring Tinkaton into this matchup. I also didn't think Sneasler would lead here because I didn't think Sneasler was that good into my team. But we'll go for a dual wing beat, I suppose. If I was helping Handins, and this would be nice here. I mean, I'm going to Sinistra, I suppose. This could be winnable, I suppose. Like, I guess this is not technically over, because if I get the dual wing beat off, maybe I can sweep under Trick Room. If I life do Sinistra, it would have been easier, though. Dual wing beat. Yeah, it's nowhere near enough to the Floette. I needed, like, a lot more damage. They do close combat, and this is Dazzling Gleam again, unless they Moonblast for some reason, yeah. Okay. It's playable, but it's, like, really unlikely. But, I mean, whatever works. We go into Instant and we have to fake out the Float and get Trick Room up. So Trick Room on the Sinistra will actually help us in this game. But yeah, we'll go for Fake Out into the Float and we'll go for Trick Room. The Sneasler is at -2, so would it KO the Instant close combat at this range? I think it depends on if they're Adamant or Jolly. But yeah, we fake out the Float. And then we got a Matcha Gotcha Flare Blitz probably. Yeah, the Sinistra is just rough. Or not Sinistra, the Float is just rough. Without Tinkaton. I also really didn't respect the Sneasler lead. I felt like if they were going to lead Float, it might have been like Aerodactyl. And that's what I was preparing for more. Because I knew I could play around Aerodactyl. Because if I fake out and get some damage, it's actually not terrible of a spot. They do go for CC. I guess the KO on Instant. Okay. Gets a crit. The crit's actually kind of unfortunate because I might have needed the Flare Blitz pressure. But at the same time, like, it's still pretty dire of a spot. Unfortunately, I have no recovery on the Sinistra, so I'm gonna need Rotom plus Sinistra to clutch up. Maybe some Matcha Gotcha burns. If it's like maybe back is going to be like Garchomp plus Basky Legion, this could be fine, I suppose, though. I think I have to go for some aggressive plays, and I think I just got to get a Matcha Gotcha plus Thunderbolt off in the Float, as maybe Float protects to stall out a turn of Trick Room, and I need to punish like any switches. They probably preserved the Sneasler for... Did they need to preserve the Sneasler? I feel like Sneasler's a good... Maybe not. But the damage on Sneasler's decent. I might KO with Matcha... No, it's only -1, right? Yeah, it's only -1 from the close combat. It's not -2. Maybe I should have Hydroed. They do swap out the Sneasler, though. I want to cover like Bask or Gambit. Gambit's out, which makes sense. Okay, I mean, I got the turn right. That's huge. That is huge. Don't get me wrong, that is huge. Matcha Gotcha. Burn? I can't afford to miss when I'm this down, man. Let's get damage into Gambit, I suppose, at the bright side. Dude, I just hope that they double here, the Sinistra, and protect. I think I always T-Bolt the Float. I think I need a burn on Gambit, most likely. Yeah, I'm just gonna Matcha Gotcha T-Bolt the Float slot. They go for Kowtow. Oh wait, I'm the Ghost Berry, right? I keep thinking I'm the Dark Berry. I mixed them up. I'm the Dark Berry, so I just go down with Sinistra. Okay, I don't think we have a chance to win the game then. I needed to burn the Gambit on switch with Willis or Matcha Gotcha. Also, the Float left the T-Bolt. We get the Para, but it doesn't matter. The game's over anyway. Yeah, I can't win because with Sneasler still healthy, yeah. I think my plan was just bad into what they brought. Like, I was expecting Sash Arrow plus Float lead. That's why I decided to lead Instant was fine, because I could go for like Fake Out, do a Wing Beat, or Fake Out plus Cross Chop immediately, get some damage off, and then maybe try to like set up a position where I stall out Tailwind. Maybe I get a Trick Room up with Sinistra, and then endgame wise I could clean up, but the Sneasler lead messed me up immensely, because the fast Fake Out actually meant I couldn't get damage onto the Float, which is what I was hoping for, or a Swords Dance with my Hawlucha. All right, we have Frostlass, Sneasler, King Gambit, Rotom Heat with Milotic and Garchomp. Other than the Frostlass, Hawlucha looks really good here. And Tinkaton's actually pretty decent here because we have the Gigaton Hammer and it switches into Frostlass pretty well. All right, I think lead-wise, the Frostlass is the hardest Pokemon to deal with. If I get rid of the Frostlass, it's amazing, but they're not going to give me Frostlass that easily. I think it's Hawlucha plus Tinkaton as a general lead, because Tinkaton's pretty safe to lead. This is only weak against Rotom, and I get to find out if it's Scarf Rotom potentially based off the lead, unless they lead Rotom Heat plus Frostlass. But then I would lead Instant, but I can't really lead Instant into Milotic Gambit. They really hate Intimidate, huh? They really hate Intimidate. I think I bring Instant, and I think last mon I need Rotom most likely. Yeah, I need Rotom. I guess a good question is, we'll find out if the Frostlass, well, I don't know if we can safely find out if Frostlass is timid or modest on this team. I've definitely seen a lot of modest Frostlass on the ladder, but we'll find out. Frostlass Sneasler. Okay, this works. So I'm going to switch out the Hawlucha to Instant immediately. And I'm going to go for a Gigaton Hammer attempt into the Frostlass. I hope when I flinch, I don't use up the Gigaton Hammer, but I mean, this is still kind of fine. I assume this is just Fake Out coming out. It's White Herb on the Sneasler. Let's see if the Frostlass goes for Mega. Yeah, it does. Let's see if there's a Fake Out and a Tinkaton, which is what I'm expecting. Probably a Blizzard immediately. They could Shadow Ball, but I think I'll take the Shadow Ball because Tinkaton has really good special defense. Okay, Snow Warning. They Fake Out the Tinkaton. Yep, this is what I expected. And they go for Blizzard. Okay, perfect. Now, it's still spooky, but they don't have a Basky Legion. I guess if it's Scarf Rotom or something, that is going to be concerning. But I think my best play is to Fake Out the Sneasler and Encore the Sneasler as well. Because I could maybe trap them in. Oh, they switch out Frostlass, which is good for me. Okay, into Rotom. Yeah, Rotom makes sense. Perfect. So I get a Fake Out off in the Sneasler. Oh, they protect. Ugh. Rough. This might still be fine, though. They're going to close combat the Ensign. I don't have a switch for Ensign, but I need Ensign because Tinkaton's about to take an overheat. I guess I can go on a Hawlucha, don't Volt Switch. Or I could go Rotom. Taking damage on Rotom is not ideal, but I think it's probably better than taking the damage on Hawlucha. I think I go for Gigaton Hammer, because I do have Aqua Berry, so I should live the Rotom Heat, unless it's really invested, I think. And once I go to Sneasler, it's... I don't know if Milo's in the back at this point. I don't think so. I kind of doubt it's Milo back. But we'll bring out the Rotom on the close combat. We are forced to, yep. Also, how fast is the Rotom Heat? Because we know that it's a Burden Sneasler, so it makes sense that they outspeed. Citrus Berry, I think I'm out of... Okay, Overheat. Nice dodge. I had Aqua Berry, but that works out immensely. Because Gigaton Hammer should knock out the Sneasler. Tinkaton. It's -1 defense Sneasler. I'm disappointed, Tinkaton. I'm disappointed. Okay. I think the best place to go Ensign then. And just protect. Okay. Also, the Rotom's really fast, so it could be Scarf, but we will go Ensign here. And threaten to Fake Out the Sneasler the next turn and protect the Rotom. I guess the question is, what's your back? They close combat the Rotom. Did they T-Bolt double up or is it Overheat again? It's Overheat again. Okay, it's in the Rotom. That makes... Okay, it has to be Scarf Rotom then. So I can Fake Out Hydro. I don't think they would give me the Rotom like that though. I think they're going to hard swap here, but I don't know into what. I think my best play is to Hydro Pump Flare Blitz the Rotom. Or yeah, because even if Sneasler protects, I get the Hydro off into the Rotom. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Especially if they swap out into Frostlass, because if they give me Frostlass, that's huge. Or Garchomp. I get good damage to Garchomp, so I'll take it. They close combat immediately. That's not good. I mean, I do hang on, which is nice, but taking the extra damage is not nice. I do hit Hydro Pump, which is good. Oh, dealing with their Rotom Heat's going to be annoying in the back. I could have faked out, but the thing is, they would have still been positioned pretty well because Frostlass next to Garchomp would have been awful for me. Unless I burned the Garchomp, but I was really trying to catch... Well, imagine if I burned the Garchomp. It's Lumberry now, okay. I take the Recoil. Overall, this is acceptable though. They're gonna Dire Claw. They either close combat the Rotom and Dire Claw the Instant, or they're Rock Sliding, close combating the Rotom. So I think I actually go hard Tinkaton here. Even though it's kind of a crazy play, I think I'm going to try to hard call them. I do think that they never close combat the Instant. I think they either Dire Claw or they Rock Slide the Instant slot. And they could double up the Rotom. So I'm going to take advantage of what was given to me because the RNG has been kind in this game, but we'll see. Protect the Rotom. They did close combat the Rotom, and this is Rock Slide done. Yep. Okay, called that. I could have got Hawlucha in though. That would have been nice. Hawlucha has to come in now. The question is, am I targeting the Garchomp slot with Fake Out? I am, right? I think I am. Okay. I see the ways out. But I still have big problems. Oh, the Garchomp protected. Okay, that makes sense. This is close combat again. If this isn't a Tinkaton, this is way worse. If it's Hawlucha, that's fine. Okay, it's Hawlucha. That's perfect, actually. That still did a lot of damage, but acceptable. Okay. We're gonna cross chop the Garchomp. And we're gonna go for a... Did we Gigaton hammer the Garchomp slot as well? I think so. Because we catch a switch on anything. If Rotom switches, it goes down to the cross chop, I think. If it's Frostlass on a greedy play, it goes down. I'm assuming it's Protect Sneasler. Okay, they do switch out the Garchomp into Rotom. So wait, giving me the Rotom is actually huge. Giving me the Rotom's huge. I just don't know. I think it depends on the Frostlass if it's timid or modest. I think that's what this game's going to come down to. They close combat a Tinkaton smart. Because they need to chip damage in a Tinkaton to try and put in range of Blizzard. I'm going to have a really tough time against the Frostlass now. Oh, wait. That also did a lot less to the Rotom than I thought. I guess it's only 135 power, but still. That did a lot less than I was hoping for. Okay. Rotom Wash is the least useful member here. I wish I had like Tailwind or something, but we will detect. I think this game is probably over. Yeah, I think the game is over unless the Frostlass is slow. I think that's like my only hope is the Frostlass is slow. And even then, it's still not looking good. I needed to get rid of the Sneasler earlier, I think. I guess Rotom wasn't as good as I was hoping for either in this matchup. We do go for an attack here. This should be T-Bolt and CC again. Yep. Maybe this is Volt Switch. But I still have to go Tinkaton and Fake Out. Yeah, they Volt Switch. Oh, I think my only hope is that Hawlucha lives a Volt Switch. I think that's like my hope here. Because they definitely, I think, Volt Switch Hawlucha plus close combat the Tinkaton slot. I think the Sneasler will KO my Tinkaton. Yeah, this is like not looking good. Maybe if I can get a Swords Dance up, because they are going to go Garchomp. I'm not allowed to take the knockout into Garchomp. I think I Fake Out the Sneeze. I just think I lose here. I'm like pretty sure Volt Switch KOs the Hawlucha, and even if it doesn't, I need to Swords Dance up. Hope that like Frostlass is modest, and even then it's looking pretty rough to win the game. Wait, they hard swap the Rotom into Garchomp. Okay, wait, hold on. Maybe? Maybe. I need some RNG, but it's winnable. I suppose it's winnable. It's still looking pretty bad, but hey, they gave me an opportunity. I'm kind of surprised because even if they fake out the Rotom, like, what am I doing here? Like, I was either losing to Tinkaton, which means Frostlass won the game, or they KO'd my Hawlucha with Volt Switch. Or they could have doubled my Tinkaton realistically as well, and that would have been pretty bad. So I'll take the mistake here. Okay. So they should just go Rotom here. If they go Frostlass, they give me a shot. Yeah, it's Rotom. Detect and swap to Rotom is always the play. I need Tinkaton around. If Tinkaton should live to Blizzard, so maybe I have a shot against the Frostlass. I still need it to be Moz Frostlass, and I still need everything to go right. Yeah, I need a lot to go right. But it's a winnable game. I'll say that much. It's a winnable game. Rotom. And Detect. I think I need to live a Volt Switch. Oh, they E-Web. Interesting. My hope is to dodge E-Web, right? Oh, I can't even dodge E-Web because no guard means that I can't miss. Dang, this ability, man. Yeah, they can't miss Electroweb into Hawlucha. Should I go for a miss on Rotom? They should double up the Rotom realistically. I think my best place to go for a double here and probably just go for a Hydro into the Rotom. I think it's like super unlikely I can win this game unless A, they miss attacks and I get the double protect. But yeah, even if I miss, I have no chance of winning because Electroweb plus Dragon Claw or Rock Slide here. It's one of the two. Like the thing is, I need to hope for like probably the E miss onto Rotom. They did click Rock Slide, so even though I live with Hawlucha, the game was over anyway, because let's say I KO the Rotom, Garchomp just wins. Because they can just click Blizzard plus Stomping. If I KO Garchomp, the Rotom clicks E-Web, and the Frostlass clicks Shadow Ball, and I still lose the game. So no matter what, it was just rough. Yeah, this combination was rough. Rotom Heat's really rough. Rotom Heat Frostlass specifically, because I'm not able to do as much with my Hawlucha as I would like. So that will be GG. Unless the Garchomp can't hit the Frost, no, the game's over. They literally should always win here, unless they make a huge mistake. Because realistically, you go for the KO on the Tinkaton, or you go for the KO on the Hawlucha with an accurate move and you win. Yeah, if you have Stomping, that seals it, yeah. This one was tough. I think a lot of it was just difficulties with the Frostlass. Frostlass was rough. Also, I did way less damage to Rotom than I thought, but I guess Hawlucha is only 137 attack, which is not that much compared to like most Megas. Also, running Jolly hurts it. So that makes sense. I can't even find out if the Frostlass is faster than my Hawlucha, so there's like no info that's worth gaining here. Yeah. I think I just needed to be able to... Even then, some of the RNG was even favorable for me, and it still was not a good spot regardless. I think like a lot of it, I probably had to make more aggressive plays. I think I just had to make way more aggressive plays, I think. And my lead, maybe Instant was a better lead, and then being able to switch to Tinkaton for Gigaton Hammer. I also thought Gigaton Hammer was knocking out Sneasler. I forget how weak Tinkaton is sometimes, but it's like a really powerful move. All right, we have Talonflame, Sneasler, Garchomp, Eternal Floette, Basculegion, and King Gambit. Oh, I do not like these matchups, man. I do not. Did we play against this earlier? I cannot remember if we played this earlier. I'm going to... I think Instant Tinkaton's probably necessary. Did we play this matchup before? I just can't remember. It might be. I think I just lead Hawlucha plus... Is it Hawlucha Tinkaton or is it Rotom here? Rotom might be an okay lead. I think Rotom plus Tinkaton is also alright. Although... You know what, no. Hawlucha Tinkaton is fine for the most part. Have Instant in the back and then bring the Rotom as the remainder. Because Rotom's really solid. Garchomp, it's good against some of the mons, but it's like hard to position properly against like quite a few of them. And I think Rotom's better defensively because if I live last respect if I get Intimidate off in the Basque. If I'm able to have that situation, it actually is like pretty impactful compared to like Garchomp, which doesn't KO or can't burn. I think Rotom is just really good to be able to switch into Talonflame as well and also threaten it with the T-Bolt. So, and it can burn the Gambit. So a lot of things that can go right. I don't think they should bring Gambit against Hawlucha, but maybe they do. We'll see. Because we have seen Gambit be brought against us before, but I'm not 100% certain. Let's see. Flow at Talonflame. Okay. This lead is fine. Yeah, this lead's fine. So I threatened Fake Out and I threatened a few other things. They might Quick Guard if they have Quick Guard, but I think my best play is just to go Incineroar, get an Intimidate off in the Talonflame, and we're going to go for a Gigaton Hammer into the Float immediately. Because I'm not falling for a Quick Guard. If they Protect, I can Fake Out Encore to Floette the next turn. I'm only scared if they Tailwind Protect and then Quick Guard, but I don't think it's Tailwind Protect here. Maybe Protect Switch. But we'll see. They're not bringing out Gambit here for sure. Maybe switch to Garchomp makes sense for the Talon. Or the Floette. Both make sense. I wonder if the Talon has Wisp. No Talon switch unless the Talonflame is adamant for some reason. We go Incineroar here, get the Intimidate off. Floette Mega Evolves. They could also Flare Blitz Dazzling Gleam as well. That's also a play that they have. Let's see. Nice. Nice. I called the Quick Guard. Beautiful. I'm faster. Why did that live? Why did that live? They crit my instant too. They're like bold and they crit my instant. This is a disaster. I don't have Feint or anything on the Tinkaton here. Please expect Feint or something. Don't Quick Guard. Actually, no. My play is always to Fake Out Encore regardless. I'm not going to have Instant around, which is going to stink a lot, but I think they should probably either Tailwind Switch, or if they Quick Guard, it's fine because I Encore the Talonflame into Quick Guard, then Hawlucha outspeeds to Floette. I cannot believe that it lived. Gigaton Hammer, super effective. Its defense is not incredible. They do swap. Okay, that makes sense. Garchomp? Oh, Sneasler. Alright. So I get a Fake Out off, and then what does Talonflame do? Acro. Okay, that's fine. They're locked into Acro now? Oh, so it's itemless Talonflame too, as well. I need Instant or I lose to Basque in the back. My best play is to probably just get a Gigaton Hammer off into the Sneasler. That is probably just going to fire off a close combat into my upcoming Rotom. It's still really difficult here dealing. Maybe I should have got damage on Talon because I do need damage on Talonflame and Rotom's probably not going to be in any acceptable shape to move on. This is a tough game. We will bring out the Rotom. They aggro the Tinkaton again, which is interesting. Did they double with close combat or? They did double, which is actually probably better for me because I get a free switch to Hawlucha. Okay. It is White Herb. That's not surprising to me. I will go Hawlucha here. I mean, my best play, Thunderbolt might not knock out Talonflame. I gotta Hydro Pump the Talon. Talonflame. Unless it switches out. If it switches out, that's bad. I don't need Hawlucha. Do I need Hawlucha healthy? I live Acro. I just don't live Dire Claw Acro. But I think I probably just go for Dual Wing Beat because they probably spread the attacks because they also need damage in a Rotom. Yeah, I think I Dire Claw plus Dual Wing Beat. The rest is going to be tough. It's manageable, but this is still really rough. Like, if they Dire Claw to Hawlucha, I lose because Acro... Okay, they do switch out to Talon. So that's actually nice for me. Oh, why? I could have T-bolted the Basque. I didn't think they risked Basque Legion there. Okay, this is still fine, I suppose. Close combat. I thought they would sack the Floet if anything, because I thought the Floet didn't provide as much as the Basque. Dual Wing Beat will KO the Sneasler. Oh boy. Please hit the Hydro. I need the damage on Basque. Okay, at least hit the Hydro. The problem is I definitely don't do enough to Basque. Oh, this is going to be a couple of reads. Talonflame's going to come in. It should be Talonflame. You should never go out into... You should never go out into Floet here. Yeah, Talon. I have to go Incineroar for this slot. The question is, am I clicking Dual Wing Beat or am I clicking Detect? I guess I could also swap. Actually, I could also T-Bolt swap to Incin. I just don't know if I live Last Respect plus Acro, but I think I might have to go for it. I think I have to go for it. We're going Incin and we're clicking T-Bolt into the Basque. They could sack the Basque here. Or not sack the Basque. They could sack the Floet here, which would make sense. I don't think you flip turn though in this position. We'll see. Maybe you flip turn to Rotom. But we will Intimidate. Acro comes out into what was the Hawlucha. I hang on. Last Respect. They doubled that slot actually. If I protect T-Bolt, I won. Wait, did I detect the last turn? I don't think I did. Didn't I go for Dual Wing Beat into Sneasler? Okay, I KO the Basque. Which means no Last Respect, but the Floet is still a problem. Oh, I think some of the micro turns, like if I got the damage into the into the Talonflame. Well, actually it doesn't matter. Oh boy. It's a read this turn. It's like a really big read. The big question is, does the Floet protect? Do they Moonblast a Rotom? Or do they Dazzling Gleam? Because all of those are potential plays that they have access to. Talonflame is very likely to click Tailwind here. The question is what does the Floet do? I'm assuming it's probably more likely that they go for a Moonblast in the Rotom or a Dazzling Gleam. So I need to call that, and I need to take out the Floet if I expect that. If I Hydro Pump the Talon and Floet protects, I win the game as well. I'm gonna go for the hard read. Please Moonblast the Rotom and hope you can win with Talon in the end. Okay, they didn't protect. Did they Gleam or Moonblast? Because it doesn't look like they have much special attack investment on the Floette. Yes! 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 Hard read worked. Oh my goodness. It worked. So I knew based on the damage that they were physically defensive Floette, which meant that like they didn't have much special attack. We also saw how much damage they did earlier to my team, and it wasn't much. So I knew that they had to Moonblast to KO Rotom, because this Rotom has Spadef. It's not going down to Gleam. So I get the call right. I get the call right. It looked so unwinnable in so many spots, but we take it. Oh, that was not fun. Floette is just such a monster for this team. Alright, we have Eternal Floette, Garchomp, Basculegion, Aegislash, Incineroar, and Whimsicott. Okay. Floette again with Prankster Tailwind. Never a fun time. Alright, let's see what we got here. Rotom's good, Incineroar's good. Do I bring my Garchomp? It's like okay, but it's not like that great. Dual Wing Beat into Earthquake might KO to Floette though, in an endgame scenario, which could be good. I think lead-wise, I just lead the Hawlucha plus Tinkaton. Hawlucha plus Tinkaton seems pretty solid. Maybe have Incin in the back, and then last mon is Rotom, I think. Because Rotom is pretty good at switching into stuff. I just don't like Sinistcha in this matchup other than maybe getting Trick Room up, but it's hard to do that against double ghosts. Or not double ghosts, like Aegislash plus Floette. So let's see. And Garchomp, it's just hard because they have a lot of defensive tools. Okay, they lead Floette plus Whimsicott, which is fine. As I lead Hawlucha plus the Tinkaton. So I'm gonna just KO the Whimsicott turn 1. Yeah. I'm gonna go for dual Wing Beat into the Whimsicott and fake out the Floette. Or do I Gigaton Hammer immediately? I want to say no. Yeah, no, I fake out the Floette. Floette retreats into what? Aegislash. Okay, that makes sense. I'm okay with that though. Alright, so it's Aegislash in. I do get the Mega Evolution with Hawlucha. Did the Whimsicott protect? I mean, I could still do a Wing Beat, switch to Instant the next turn if they protect. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. So we fake out the Aegislash and we will do a Wing Beat the Whimsicott. Also, I know that my Hawlucha is faster than Whimsicott. It just, the question is a Whimsicott like some really bulky set with Citrus Berry? We are going to go out into Incin though for the Tinkaton because we don't want to take damage on our only Fairy resist. So we will go out into Incin for an Intimidate. They're probably attacking the Tinkaton, I imagine, because they need damage in a Tinkaton. But also what's nice is they don't have Tailwind for the rest of the game, so I could actually Swords Dance with Hawlucha, install a Tailwind for an effective endgame. So I do get the dual Wing Beat, KO into Whimsicott, beautiful. And then this is Poltergeist and a Tinkaton, I imagine. A stance change. Show me what move you're locking yourself into. Oh, it's Poltergeist to Hawlucha, that's fine. Because that means Instant came in healthy, okay. Good amount of damage to the Hawlucha, acceptable though. This might be a position where Fake Out Protect is actually optimal. Or I go for Heart Swap into Tinkaton. Do I need the Tinkaton? Do I need this mon? I feel like last mon's probably Basculegion. But I think my optimal play is just to Fake Out Protect. Yeah. They switch out Aegislash into Basque. Yeah, that makes sense. Good play on their part. Okay. Oh, this is going to be super scary endgame. I kind of wish I went Tinkaton for the Hawlucha slot. I was worried about Poltergeist doing too much damage, but I think I should have, looking back in retrospect. Although that's risky because I could have just Dark moved the Basket Legion. Oh, they protected too? This would have been such a good Tinkaton play for me. Okay. This is Dazzling Gleam plus Wave Crash. Which is acceptable, I think. We're going Tinkaton for the Hawlucha slot and we're going Rotom. I guess we get to confirm if it's Scarf Bask. I need Intimidate instant around or I'm going to have trouble in the endgame against both Aegislash and the Bask. Like, this is not a pretty spot, but it's like a workable spot. We bring out Tinkaton and we bring out Rotom. The problem is dealing damage to the Flood is really difficult if I don't get Gigaton Hammer off specifically. Yeah, they Dazzling Gleam. Did they Wave Crash double up the Tinkaton or the Rotom? They Wave Crash the Rotom, it looks like. I should live. Yeah, barely. Okay. Do they Dazzling Gleam? I could see them also switching to Aegislash. I think I gotta get the call right. If they attack with Floette and they don't Wave Crash the Tinkaton, my best play is to go for a Thunderbolt in the Bask. Or I switch to Instant and T-Bolt the Bask. I either Gigaton Hammer or I switch here. I think it reads depending on what the Floette does. I think my best play is to go Instant. Hope I live the Wave Crash and T-Bolt. Because if they Wave Crash a Tinkaton, my best play is to fake out the flow. If they stay in, it's to Gigaton Hammer. They do swap. Okay. Okay. That's really good for me. If I live the Wave Crash with the Intimidate, it's going to be super close. So I get Instant in. They Wave Crash the Rotom. Yep. And Rotom survives. Let's go. And T-Bolt the Bask. Oh, I got the call right, because they did switch the first time, so I was like, they're probably likely switching again. I don't get the KO on Bass, but that's actually pretty fine still. Oh, it's Citrus Berry. That's fine. Is it? Yes. Because I can fake out, or not fake out. I never fake out. I Flare Blitz the Aegislash, and I T-Bolt the Bask. Yeah, that's fine. If they switch out, did they King Shield or did they Shadow Sneak? Okay, they didn't Shadow Sneak, so I do get the Flare Blitz into the Aegislash. Wait, what are they going for, though? Because they can't Poltergeist or Rotom. Oh, Sacred Sword in the instant. I live, though. Okay. This is a very good situation. This is a very good situation. Assuming Hawlucha lives Aqua Jet from the Bask. If I live Aqua Jet from the Bask, I think there's a very high chance I win the game. But I think I need dual Wing Beats to KO the Bask as well. Okay, yeah, it KOs the Bass at that range. Okay. So I just need Hawlucha to live Aqua Jet, which is kind of suspicious, but like it's my only hope here. So I gotta go for a Throat Chop. I gotta go for a Throat Chop in the Bask and probably a T-Bolt. If they protect Bask, it's fine, but realistically, Floette's probably faster, goes for Gleam. Or they Jet, which is fine too. Okay. Is this Jet Moonblast then? I feel like it's Gleam. Single target Gleam should KO instant at the range. Yeah. Unless I went Tinkaton. I guess if I went Tinkaton for the Rotom slot, I probably lived the Gleam and got Throat Chop off, but then I could lose to the... I can lose to the Floette. It's gonna come down to, do I live Wave Crash? And the thing is, I think I do because or not Wave Crash, Aqua Jet, because the Bass didn't do that much to Rotom. I feel like the Wave Crash should have done more if it was Adamant. I'm gonna do a wing beat and I'm gonna fake out the Floette. This is double protect, okay. The thing is, I mean, wait, do I have a guarantee here? Well, they double protected. They had to jet the Hawlucha, right? I feel like the play... Well, the thing is, I'm not faster than like a fast bass, so I have to do a wing beat here and hope they don't get the double protect, because they could realistically double up the Tinkaton slot as well. So I got dual wing beat and I got a Gigaton Hammer. I could also protect Gigaton Hammer, but I don't know if they're going to go for Jet when I think Tinkaton might be the bigger threat into the Floette. They might try to Aqua Jet Moonblast the Tinkaton, but I don't think that KOs. They didn't go for Jet. Dual wing beat KOs the Basket Legion. I think that's game. There's no way Floette has a move for Tinkaton. They revealed Jet? I thought your play is to Jet or you go for a double protect. Oh, I guess they were trying to go for Last Respect plus the into Tinkaton to double up as well. Okay. I'm glad I did not protect the Hawlucha. I'm glad I went on the offense, and then Gigaton Hammer will take the knockdown of Tinkaton. Oh my goodness. Or into Floette. Oh man, these Floettes are just monstrous, man. Every single Floette team is so strong, but Tinkaton is doing a ton of work against these Floettes. I should have brought in that one game that I lost to the Floette in, but you know, you live and learn. You live and learn. But I'm glad I was able to get some good calls there. I feel like for the most part, like getting rid of the Aegislash was huge. Was able to get some pretty good position to stall out the Tailwind. I think like, again, maybe like a few adjustments where I could have like switched out the, what was it, the Hawlucha into Tinkaton would have been better. On the turn they doubled into the Floette, so I had fake up pressure next turn. But man, I'm glad it worked out. So how was the team? I really wish Mega Hawlucha was just able to get a bit more attack and speed. 118 is a little bit of an unfortunate speed tier, especially when it's underspeeding the base 120. So unless they are running a neutral speed nature with one of their base 120s, you're not able to outspeed the Sneaslers or the Mega Frostlass is guaranteed. This Pokemon would have really liked having more speed and attack, because you definitely want to run a speed boosting nature in most cases with the Hawlucha, as it would really appreciate it. However, it was able to do some work today. The cross shop dual wing beats was able to hurt opponents, and oh man, I think still Eternal Floette is still a very big problem for the team. Tinkaton did help us a lot, but let me just say, you really have to work for those wins, especially when they pair the Eternal Floette next to, of course, any of the other Pokemon like Aegislash, the fire types, Garchomp that could threaten the Tinkaton. So never an easy game, but it's a winnable one. You just have to make a lot of hard calls in that one. However, I think Mega Hawlucha was fun. I think it had a cool niche, and it was able to do some work in today's video, and I'm happy with it. Did you think that Mega Hawlucha was good? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you'd like to try out the team, there is the replica code here on the screen. Otherwise, you can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.